Hi everybody, welcome to another beautiful episode of the Sound Light Voyage, where we will be opening your horizons each and every talk. Now, on this discussion, I'd really like to just touch on being able to hold a sense of stillness in your mind so that you don't constantly have that mind chatter. It is one of those things that you can be going through your whole entire day and you're just arguing with yourself always, just, gosh, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't be doing this, or I shouldn't be thinking this way, or, we're just conditioned to feel guilty about the things that we're thinking about, the things that we're doing throughout the day, the way people are reacting to the things that we're doing. There's so many impressions that we get where we're just impressed upon with the world telling us, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Well, I got big news for all these people out here. We're not here to be worrying about the way we make other people feel all the time. It's yes, there's a sense of respect that you need to hold for people, but if you're being eccentric and you're acting out your own personality, then you should have nothing to be feeling guilty about. I'm a complete believer in this idea of having great dignity for everybody around you and high respect and regard for these people. We're all equal and all of us should be looking at each other that way. With that being said, though, you ought to be able to act and experience your world for yourself without being so impressed upon by the world around you. Now, this topic of having a still mind, being in the loudest of places, and yet still maintaining this deep sense of space within your heart and this clarity within your mind. And this can all be done with just a few simple practices throughout the day. The first and foremost important idea here is that there's this presence of God within you. It might be easier when you're first trying to feel this to do it in the quiet stillness of your house, but when you're just feeling your body, when you're feeling the air around you, everything that you're experiencing has behind it this presence of God. It's this divine presence. And I don't mean God is in this being that's somewhere outside of us. I mean God is in this non-definable, formless, unimaginable, undescribable presence. It's very, very abstract, and it fills every drop of energy that we're swimming around in. And this presence of God is just coming out of you right now. You feel it come in, just dives into your chakra systems, and then it just projects out into the world, and you can just feel it cascade right through your body. It's like as you develop your spiritual practices and as you develop your meditation, what begins to happen is you feel this really creative and amazing flow of energy just coming right down your being, and it cascades out into the world around you. Now, at the beginning, you want to pay attention to this presence, and we're going to develop what it really means and how the sound light comes into this presence, because there's a sound within this quietness. There's this roaring sound, and when you close your eyes, there's this amazing light that you can see right here, and it's internal. I don't even like to say right here because it's really non-local. It's this place that has no definition. And so this space within you can be tapped into at all times, this beautiful sound and light within. It's all right there. Now, when you're experiencing this presence, what you're doing is you're taking your mind and you're putting it onto this presence of God. And what you'll start to find is that your mind is so much more curious. It's almost like a game. And your mind becomes so much more curious about what this magical presence is. What is that? Wow, I'm actually starting to feel this really, really creative force within me. Whoa, that is so strong, and it's behind everything, and then it's just flowing. It's like a river, continuously flowing. And your mind starts to put its presence and attention on that presence. And what you find is thoughts start to come in, and you just have to let those thoughts go. Keep your attention on the presence. It's kind of like a game. You're playing a game with your mind, and your mind really, really likes to play these types of games. And as you continue putting your attention on this presence, then the thoughts and all of these feelings and emotions start to come through, but they're not bothering you anymore. In fact, they just start to come through you, and they move right through you. It's like you're transparent and the sun is just coming right through you. You're experiencing the rays of light. You're experiencing the wind blowing through you. Just like the wind are the thoughts. The thoughts are blowing in through your mind, and you just see them blowing out. And soon the thoughts start to just quiet themselves down automatically, and what you're left with is the continued fountain of creativity that your mind has been focused on. Your mind has been contemplating on, is a better word. To contemplate on this presence, stillness, this light, and the sound within, this roaring sound. And we'll talk more about this inner light and this inner sound, which is, of course, what the sound light voyage is all based on in the first place. But for now, let's just talk about this essence and presence of God cascading like a river through your being and out onto the world around you. So as you begin to put your attention on this presence, then your mind will begin to naturally quiet itself down. And boy, that is an absolutely beautiful thing. I know there's so many times where, people wake up in the night and they'll have all these thoughts going on in their head. How nice would it be to just let those thoughts go through and instead put your attention on this beautiful essence of this divine creativity, and let all those thoughts just take care of themselves for themselves. Let them go on through. Just like in the Beatles song where they're talking about all of these thoughts moving across the universe. It's just the same thing. These thoughts come and then they go and they move on across the universe. And another important thing to bring up right now is that you are not your thoughts. The thoughts that come into your mind doesn't mean that those are you. Those are just thoughts that are coming in. The moment that we begin to associate with our thoughts becomes quite a destructive moment, because these thoughts are merely abstract waves of energy that just come into your mind, and they're just asking you to grab onto them and take them somewhere. If you don't take them, then they just go right on through, and then a new one comes in. And so I think it's really important just to know that the things that you think about doesn't define who you are. It's okay if you have a bad thought come into your mind every once in a while, or if you have a really, really great thought. The same thing is true on the other end. Don't build yourself up and say that I'm just this amazing person, where you just start to become pompous because you have these great ideas. It goes both ways. So if you have bad thoughts or if you have good thoughts, either way, don't let them define who you are, because you'll find on this journey the more you can lose this definition of yourself while still owning who you are. It's a very paradoxical thing, because as you grow and you grow consciously, you define who you are, but eventually, to enter the kingdom of heaven, you really have to let go of everything. So yes, you do want to draw a line in the sand. Yes, you do want to accentuate your personality, but don't be attached to any of it. Don't be super attached to the way that you behave and the way that the way that you're thinking and you're feeling and your emotions are coming at you, all your great memories and wisdom. Don't be attached. Just have fun with it. Don't let it define you, because you're much bigger than all that. So I hope that this helps you. Just know that there's this stillness waiting for you to tap into it. And as you can just take that moment every day and just tap into the presence of God, you'll watch all of these thoughts come and go, just as the sun comes and goes in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Just a beautiful cycle of life. And as you develop this, you'll start to witness this great stillness in the most stressful of situations and the most beautiful of situations. It's so nice when you can just walk around in nature and not have all these thoughts going through your mind, and you're tagging onto them and you're grabbing them and you're just taking them in every direction. It's nice to be able to just really appreciate the hike, or to appreciate if you're working out at the gym, just to appreciate the stillness in every moment, no matter what your external environment may be. So this has been another great episode. I hope that this has touched on some things you've wondered about in your life. Just been another great episode of Sound Light Voyage, and I look forward to speaking with all of you again soon. Thank you.